Yeah, we just got out of basketball workouts.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
I'm going to. Roll call, please.
Mayor Connie Ball,
Present.
Vice Mayor Mike Profit,
Present.
Alderman Jeff Prancher,
Present.
Alderman Mike Hansel,
Here.
Alderman Bobby Knight,
Here.
Alderman Steve Smith,
Here.
City Attorney Terry Hurst, City Administrator James Fincham.
Here.
Thank you, Tina. Before we go to item 3, I want to make I guess I could call it a public apology. I've missed the last couple of meetings, and I think Mike and maybe James and some had indicated why I was not here. My wife was having some medical issues and tests and doctor visits and everything else, and I know there was prayers went out on her behalf, and I appreciate that very much, but I do apologize for missing those 2 meetings. Item 3 is the approval of the minutes of the previous meeting on July the 10th, 2018. You had those in your notebook, had a chance to look at them. Do we have a motion to approve as written?
Make a motion to approve as written.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed is no. I hear none. Item 4, I would like to recognize all of the students that are here this evening representing the Cotton County High School leadership class. Are there any of you from Cosby? Everybody's Cotton County?
We got one from Cosby, I think.
Okay. We welcome you here and thank you for taking interest in your community and learning from the leadership class. It's great. Item 5, before we get to James Fincham's report, Vice Mayor Mike Profit has something he needs to say.
They think we'll take it a second. First place I'd like, if people don't realize what goes on in this town sometimes, but I'd like to thank the Parks and Recreation. I've been watching them get ready for their next events and the football, get through with one thing. How neat and clean. I hear a lot of compliments when people come to this town on how neat and clean that y'all do things and efficiency. Keeping things mowed and clean. You do an excellent job. We really appreciate it. I can brag on every department I do every week. The fire department, the street department. I'd like to also say a word or two about the Newport utilities. I'd like to, I tell them every time I see them, but people don't realize sometimes when it's real hot like that, being in that trenches and stuff, what they've done and what they've gone through with, and how they're really sacrificing to try to get that done. I just wanted to tell them, you tell them thank you. I've said thank you, and the city council tells them thank you. Just want to tell them appreciate them a whole month. Everybody to utilities, they all done a good job. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mike. James?
Thank you, Mayor. One thing I have to report, we have paid off one of the loans. We have 2 loans when the transfer station was built out at recycling for sanitation, and we have now paid off one of those loans, and we're now down to only one outstanding loan on that building, and hopefully we can get that thing knocked out ahead of schedule also. The Brighttown Park is coming along. If you haven't been up by there, please try to make time to swing by and look at it. The paving went into place this past week, and it's looking really good. One thing we added that wasn't in the preliminary plan, and I thought Tim added that, and I think it was a good idea and a good addition, is he added paving up to the pavilion, the new pavilion that's up there for ADA access. And I think it's going to help as far as if you need to roll a wheelchair up through there. Now there's a ramp, a paved ramp to go up to the pavilion, and hopefully we'll be getting the rest of it done in the next month or 2, and we can have a grand reopening up there. And I think it's going to be a big asset. We've had a lot of good feedback from the neighborhood there. Glad we're bringing that park back to life, and it's a project that I'm very pleased with, and I know you all are too. That back when I was a teenager, I went up there and played, because that was coming towards town from where I lived. That was the first park you ran into, and that's where I would stop and play basketball a lot of times. And so I'm pleased to be a part of bringing that back, and I know it's been a wish of you all, and we're getting closer to making that happen. And that's all I got, Mayor.
Thank you, James. Next item 6 in your notebook, there is It's consideration of appointment to the Regional Library Board, Pat Mason's term. The Cotton County Library Board has nominated Linda Hampton Parker for the city's trustee to replace Pat Mason. And that will be to serve the remainder of Pat Mason's term that will end July 2021. So do we have a...
Can I ask a question to clarify something? I'm a little confused. I talked to Pat Mason's wife a while ago, and I thought he was wanting to be on both boards. I thought he was just wanting to be elected to the regional board and stay on. I think he's wanting both boards. Am I correct?
I'm not aware of it. I just...
Being on the Cotton County Library Board, Linda Hampton Parker was at our last meeting. And I'll be remiss to tell you whose place she was taking it. Pat Mason was there, and I think Coach Prophet's right. I think he's going to be on regional replacing Robert Williams, whose term ended on both the Cotton County, our local library board, and the regional library board. So I think this may be a typo in the fact that Pat's wanting to be on both.
That's exactly the way I said it, because I stopped with the house up there and talked to him before I came down, and I think he's wanting on both, stay on both boards, just be elected to the regional library board.
I don't know who Regina talked to on the board, but that was the info she got, or she got it crossed.
Linda probably taking Robert Williams.
She may have been taking Robert Williams.
But that was, whoever she spoke with from the board, that's what she was reported to from them, whoever that was.
I guess, do we need to get some clarification on that before we...
Well, no, that's y'all's,
Well, that's
if
my
if he
knowledge, that's what
wishes
I
to
was told.
be, if you've talked to him and they wish to be reappointed, that's up to y'all.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and I think if Linda's be voted on for the Robert Williams position, I think that's the way I took it.
We approved Linda's selection to the library board at our last meeting at Harrisville Library.
If this is unclear and it won't cause a problem, I think it should be put off till it's clarified.
And I think that the council needs to approve Linda Hampton Parker's, which is just a formality where she's already been an integral part in our first meeting, so to do it right.
Was that another position that we fill? Because we only fill so many slots.
No, Mr. Williams came off.
He's coming out, one's coming out.
Yeah.
I know, but we don't appoint all the positions. We
Right.
only appoint, we only have a few slots on there. We don't appoint them all.
Yeah.
Would you like Mr. Finch to look into that and clarify that?
Let me get that
Then you
clarified.
can
I think
just
he
do it
should
by
be.
A vote, Tina could call us or something.
I'll call Steve Davidson tonight.
Okay.
And to get that clarified. And
Pat wants to be on both of them, I know.
Okay. Okay. Let's just move on then and get some clarification on
And
that.
I'll find out from Regina tomorrow who she talked to.
Okay. Item 7 is report from Tanner Preservation Alliance.
Mayor, we don't have a report today.
Okay, thank you, Marlene. Okay, item 8 under old business is the consideration. Let me go ahead and read that heading. Our attorney's not here this evening. This is the second reading of the ordinance that we had the public hearing over. Let me read the heading. Consideration of second reading of ordinance 2018-12, amending the municipal code title 12 buildings, utility and so forth, codes, chapter 1 building codes, and adopting the 2012 International Building Code, and adding to that the correction that we made at the public hearing to add with sprinkler amendment to that. So with that correction being made and read, do we have a motion to approve on the second reading?
motion to approve. Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Any noes? I hear none. Moving to new business. Item A is consideration of the first reading of ordinance 2018-13, amending the City of Newport Municipal Code Title 5, Municipal Finance and Taxation Chapter 3 Purchasing Policy, Section 5-304, purchases of $10,000 or of more not submitted for bids, adding to item 7 per Tennessee Code annotated 12-3-1208.
Mayor, on this issue and another one coming up, on the public records policy, as you all are well aware, every so often the state of Tennessee tweaks the law on everything at some point or another. And what has happened is, on this and on a subsequent one about public records, the state has amended the laws a little bit, and we have to change our wording a little bit to reflect what the state says. So all this is, it's not a major change, it's just a minor tweak that they have done, that the state has done in the Tennessee Code, and what we do has to mirror what is said in TCA. So that's all this does, and the next thing that's the public records one, it's a similar thing. We're not changing the policy. The policy, for all practical purposes, stays the same. It's just some of the wording to get that in there to mirror the new law in TCA that went into effect.
We have a motion to approve on first reading.
I make a motion to approve.
We have a second.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed is no. I hear none. Item B, consideration of first reading of ordinance 2018-14 budget amendment for the city of Newport. Do we have a motion to approve on the first reading?
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Any opposed? I hear none. Item C, consideration of first reading of ordinance 2018-15, amending the City of Newport Municipal Code Title 8, Alcoholic Beverages, Chapter 3 Beer Board, Sections 8-303, Term of Members. Yes, go ahead.
Well, Dennis Thornton, the chairman of the beer board, had indicated he would try to be here, but I don't see him. What this is, it's a recommendation by the board, the beer board, to change the terms of office. Currently, the term in the beer board is 1 year. And so it just keeps coming up so fast. You appoint them, and then within a year, they come right back up again. And so what we would like to do, and what they have asked that we do, and we think it's a good idea, I think it's a good idea, that we change that to a 3-year term and have it as a staggered term, so that instead of having to appoint all 3 every year, then you'll have one come up every year, but it'll be a different one, and it's a 3-year term, instead of having to constantly be reappointing people to the board. And so it's a recommendation. It's not changing any of the beer ordinances or any of the requirements for a beer license, anything like that. All it is changing the term of office from 1 year to a 3-year term and staggering those terms.
Okay, do we have a motion to approve?
I make the motion to approve.
We have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed is no. I hear none. Item D is consideration of Resolution 2018-09, adopting a public records policy for the city of Newport.
And that's back to what I was explaining about the purchasing policy. It's the same thing. They changed the law a little bit, just some of the wording. It's just a little bit more definitive on how you have to give people access, as far as what do you have to give immediate access to, what can you make them wait for, and basically it just boils down to, if it's something you can lay your hands on pretty quick, they want you to try to accommodate them. But if it's something that it's going to take time, then you can give them a target date on when that you can, when they can pick that up. And so, because some things you have to research. It depends on what somebody comes in and wants. Some things you can lay your hands on pretty quick, and then some things you have to really dig through boxes and all that. Right. So it just kind of better defines what you can make them wait for and what you have to move a little quicker on. Is that pretty much the gist of it? Yeah.
Do we have a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion to approve as written.
We have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed is no. I hear none. Item E is consideration of Resolution 2018-10, authorizing the issuance of Newport Utility Revenue Bond Anticipation Note. Do we have a motion to approve?
Make a motion to approve.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed is no. I
Well,
hear
thank the
none.
utilities, I see a lot of work going on all over the town and the county and stuff. I appreciate that.
I need to put something in there as well, very quickly. Let everybody know, as some of our social media personnel have been saying, this is not a request for any more money. This is not a request for an additional penny. This is just the second draw of our bridge loan before RUS, Rural Utility Services, permanent financing takes into place. Our first draw was $13.4 million. That work has to be done. That money has to be spent down to zero before you're able to get the second draw. We have a representative from Cumberland Securities that's here tonight that is issuing the bridge loans. And this second amount is to finish the product of this very exciting and, to me, prosperous, excuse me, not prosperous, I hope it's going to be prosperous, but a aggressive way to grow our city and our county and our area. So once again, I want to say this is not a request for an additional penny. That's what this, I just want to make that clear to everybody that's sitting here and everybody that will be asking those questions. And before I do finish, I want to commend, I know Coach Prophet does most of the commending of people for the work they do. I want to commend Lucas Graham and Gary Carver one more time for the work they're doing. I've sat on 3 or 4 meetings with them down at TDOT, down at the lawyer's office down in Knoxville, and one other meeting where, folks, we've got some momentum going. We've got some positive momentum going. And these 2 guys back there in the back, plus some of the incentives that the state has given us, has really got us looking up. And there's a light at the end of the tunnel. It's not that of a freight train. So, Lucas, you and Gary,
Thank y'all.
good job. And you're representing our city and the area very well. Appreciate it. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
You're welcome, thank you. Okay, the next item is the item G, consideration of Resolution 2018-12, authorizing the City of Newport to hire a consulting and engineering firm for multimodal projects. We have a motion to approve.
Make a motion to approve that.
We have a second? Second. Any discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed is no. I hear none. Item 10 is the consideration of bids for 2 used trucks for parks and recreation.
Mayor, you skipped
Yeah, you skipped.
resolution number 2018-11.
Right. You skip it.
Which F?
Skipped L. Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah, I did. I'm sorry. I was looking over both of those and both of them the utilities, and I
Two
thought,
resolutions, sir.
okay, I got you disturbed, and I just did that on purpose. See if he was awake. He was awake, wasn't he? Okay, let's back up. I'm sorry. Consideration of Resolution 2018-11, initial resolution authorizing the issuance of Newport Utilities electric system revenue bonds. Now we have a motion to approve that.
Make a motion.
We
Second.
have a second.
Motion second.
Any discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Any noes? See, I knew it was what was going to happen. So I just, thanks for calling my attention. Okay, Tim, you got the floor.
Okay.
I couldn't forget you, could I?
No, we need the, one thing that we've asked is our mechanics out at the street department to check out our vehicles that were bid here. And of course, the 2011 GMC was there, and so he had a chance to go over it and look at it and found that vehicle to be a useful truck for us. But the 2013 hasn't come in yet, even though they bid it. They were supposed to pick it up today. They went to get it, as we understand, and it's not at the site for us to look at. So what is an alternative for us? I had mentioned to Tina that maybe you could approve the purchase of this if it meets Roger's standards for a truck for us, since we did bid these and accept the, but I don't want to purchase that truck until Roger gets a chance to look at it.
We could, they could approve the purchase pending the inspection by our mechanic. That if it passes the inspection, we will accept it, but we reserve the right to reject it if it comes back with a bad mechanical report.
Thank you, James. So I recommend these two vehicles for us to purchase in Parks and Recreation.
Okay, does anybody have a motion with understanding that they'll have to be inspected before the sale is complete? We have a motion?
I make that motion.
We have a second?
Second.
Any questions? All those in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed is no. I hear none. Item 11, comments from citizens. Do we have anyone in the audience that'd like to speak? Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Do we have a second? Anybody against it?
No.
Okay. So let it.